So the latest silver squeeze came and went, and it failed. So much so that the prices actually went down for that day. And all this effort into trying to drive the prices up just didn't live out to the hype that people were expecting. So instead of chasing that hype, I did something just a little bit different instead. So this is going to be a little bit of a story, so let's get started. So let me start off by saying I don't want to make this video about the silver squeeze movement in its entirety. There are plenty of videos surrounding it, and I don't really want to make this video all about that. I do want to explain what I did instead. However, before I get there, I do want to mention my position on the entire thing, and I just didn't really care about it in the first place. And I've said this on other videos, I've said this to other channels that posted about it, and that the dollar cost averaging your purchases and buying them consistently whenever you can is the best thing you should do. Regardless of what's happening in the market, I just didn't want to be someone who just joins the hype train simply because it's the latest thing. And despite the outcome of the latest attempt, prices did actually go down. So if anything, I actually hope some of you actually did get a chance to actually scoop up some silver while the prices did go down a little bit. And in some way, you could even argue that I missed an opportunity, but that's not really the point. The point is the smart stacking consistently will always win over emotional purchases. I've been burned many times that way. And in fact, even in my first 30 ounces of silver that I ever purchased was due to a FOMO slash paranoia of the fear of a dollar collapse and a financial disaster. And yet, here we are in 2025 with the same idea and concepts still floating in the back of our heads. So, what is it that I actually did instead? Well, there are two things that I was actually hoping to accomplish. And the main goal was, instead of buying up all the silver I possibly could and participating in this, I figured, why not get other people interested and start their stacking journey instead? Unfortunately, I was actually able to do that. I have a very good friend of mine who has never purchased any silver, any gold, or anything precious metals wise for that matter. I wanted to get him into the stacking world and help grow the community just a little bit more. And for me at least, I get excited when new stackers join in and get involved with the hobby. So that's what I did for this silver squeeze. Instead of just trying to funnel all the money I could, I was trying to funnel more people into the hobby itself. So as I said before, there were two things that I wanted to do. Number one was to get my friend involved. And number two, I had him interact with our local coin shop dealer, one that I've done business with before. Now, they don't know me well, if at all. I've just gone in a few times and bought from them, so I doubt that I'm someone that they actually remember. But I wanted to see if they would steer him into something that he shouldn't really be getting into. Basically, I was just trying to test the authenticity or gauge the trustworthiness of the people that are working there to make sure that I was doing business with the right people. Now, don't think that I didn't trust them to begin with, or I'm trying to manipulate something in any sort of way, because that's not what I was trying to do. I just wanted to verify for myself, and they were wonderful, to say the least. All the fears that I ever had got put to rest with today's interaction, so I will for sure be doing more business with them based off of how the interaction went with my friend, because I have the knowledge, for the most part, I believe, in what people should be doing, especially if they're new. And seeing it live in action, I mean, it was just a great experience. So I'm very happy with it. So it was kind of like a little hidden test that I was trying to push onto them. So I did participate in the event technically, but I only did so because my friend was there and I couldn't contain myself to not buy something. So I picked up 5 more ounces to the stack. These are the Type 1 American Silver Eagles with a few various dates here and there. Different from the Type 2s that I've been getting recently, but they didn't really have that many Type 2s, so I just got the Type 1s instead. But my friend, he ended up picking up a couple Buffalo rounds, a couple Sunshine Mint rounds, And there's one other round that I can't remember off the top of my head, but in a sense, we both walked in with $200 and we each walked out with 5 ounces of silver. I just wanted to get the American Silver Eagles because I wanted him to take first dibs. I would have grabbed the Buffaloes, but he grabbed them. But again, I wanted him to get priority pick here. So I went with the Eagles instead. Now, when we actually got there, there were 2 other gentlemen who were there, and they had just sold to the dealer a 100-ounce bar and I think 10 tubes of Krugerrands in silver. So the guy working the counter actually allowed my friend to pick up the 100-ounce bar to feel the weight of it. Mind you, he has never held silver in his life. And that was quite the jump to get him started, because even I picked up the silver. I've actually never held 100 ounces worth of silver, so we both got to experience that. So it's really heavy too if you've never picked it up. But anyways, point being, I planted a bunch of questions for my friend to ask, again, to kind of test their integrity a little bit. And the dealer asked him what his goals were, and he recommended him essentially to go with the rounds, since they are the cheapest and the best entry level way of getting started. So it was exactly what I would have said if I were working behind the counter and someone came up to me saying that this was their first time buying. What should I do? So that now adds our total to 81.27 out of 120 ounces of silver for the goal this year, making very good progress on this. In fact, I think I might actually be able to beat this goal in just a couple months here, but we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Nonetheless, that was my goal for the silver squeeze. I think it's just important to get people involved with it as much as possible. Perhaps we should call the next one and organize something called a stacker squeeze. I don't know, I'm just making up stuff at this point, but I'm glad, and I think it's very important that you find a dealer that you trust as well. We should support them as much as we can, if they deserve it, of course. But let me know what you guys think. Did you participate in the silver squeeze? And do you guys also have a local coin dealer that you can trust? Drop your experiences in the comment down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye, guys.